Southeast Connector is the largest transportation project in the Sacramento region, designed to connect Elk Grove, Rancho Cordova, and Folsom via a 34-mile 4-lane expressway. With construction well underway, many of you guys have asked important questions about this project. Today I'm speaking with Derek Minnema, the project's executive director, to address top most asked questions you guys left in the comments in our previous video. Derek, one of the most common concerns people have is the timeline. Can you explain why the project is taking as long as it is, and what factors influence the timeline in general?
Sure. I mean, the project's been on the books for probably 50 years, since the 1970s. So I understand that. I really do. But in the last 10 years, we built 8 projects, right? So there's been a lot of progress. I mean, we're doing things. But ultimately, funding is the major constraint, right? We have 20 miles of this project environmentally approved and permitted. What's the real constraint? Funding to do it, right? And so we can only do as much as we're given. And funding for transportation, it's highly competitive. But also California is a highly regulated state. And I don't think anybody would be surprised by that. And so the regulations slow things down, and attracting the funding is really the big part of why a project like this is taking so long.
Which leads me to my next question. Funding. People want to know where it's coming from. Is it taxpayers' money? Is it federal and state grants, or a combination of different sources?
Even federal and state grants are taxpayer money. Okay, so let's remember that.
That's a good point.
Yeah, it's all taxpayer money. It's a public project, right? And so it comes through sales taxes, it comes through gasoline taxes, it comes through development impact fees. There's a project like this is going to have a variety of funding sources. I mean, 10, 15 different funding sources are going to apply to a project of this size and magnitude.
Wow. Other people asked, instead of focusing on road improvement projects, why can we prioritize rail transit and public transportation? What do you say?
Well, I think both are happening. Right? I mean, we're seeing a tremendous amount of investment into passenger rail and light rail, not only in Sacramento, but nationwide. And so, I mean, the numbers for rail dwarf what we're seeing, right? You could build 200 Capital Southeast connectors for just one high-speed rail project, right? So I think there's a tremendous amount of investment into transit. But roads are a multi-user, multimodal facility that benefits a lot of people. It's what people see every single day. 90% of people are traveling on the road in their cars. We need to make sure that those roads are safe, that they're smooth to drive on, and that people can get from one place to another in a quick and efficient manner.
Roundabouts. Some people like them, some people don't. We received a very mixed feedback about roundabouts. How many roundabouts are there going to be along the 34-mile stretch? What's the purpose for including them? And what should drivers expect?
Okay, well, first of all, I'm a fan of roundabouts.
Really?
Like, I think they're great. I think they're a great transportation solution. We're really only locating roundabouts in one specific area, which is in the rural community of Sheldon, right? This is down in Elk Grove. And we're doing that because it's a more commercial area, some more density in terms of homes. We want traffic to flow, but also be safe and slower speeds in that location. So that's why we chose roundabouts there.
Got it. What's the likelihood of expanding from 2 lanes in each direction to 3 lanes? Many people have asked that actually in the comments, saying that why don't we account for the developments that are happening along the route, like Brayton, like other developments, and sort of keep that growth in mind? Why don't we just do 3 lanes from the get-go and just plan for that growth?
So first of all, we can accommodate 3 lanes. So should that day need to happen, it will. But you don't want to overbuild, right? Because this is about balancing your funding priorities with your need. And do we really need 3 lanes up front, right? You take on a lot of maintenance burden when you overbuild, right? And that's waste of capital. And so while the day may come 30, 40 years from now where we need to go to 3 lanes, there is the space available to do it.
Other people said, we need to leave this road as is, because when we expanded, believe it or not, there were comments like that saying that when we expand the country roads, like the way you guys are doing now, that draws more growth, and sort of these developments find these areas more attractive and they consume more land. And why don't we keep more area as open space and just leave it as is?
Open space mitigation is a big part of our program. We spent $15 million in like permanent open space conservation. But growth isn't an impact, it's a benefit to the region. And everyone is going to benefit when we take a road that is 60 years old and improve it to modern standards. Safety issues occur when the use of facility doesn't match its design. And so this road, I'm not even exaggerating, 50 to 60 years old, right? Grant line comes from the Spanish land grants. That's how long this stuff has been here. And every generation of Sacramentans has taken this facility and improved it to meet the needs of the time. That's what we're doing.
What's the status of the project right now? Where are we at?
Right now, we're doing more work than we've ever done in the past. So we've completed 8 projects, but we have another 9 miles that are under final engineering design right now. That's more than we've ever done in the past. And so we are making a lot of progress. And in the next 2 years, I think we'll have another 2 to 3 projects that are ready for construction.
Last year, July, I believe, you guys received $25 million of federal grants. How will that help to push the project forward? How will that money be purposed?
So federal money has come in for Grant Line Road in the Rancho Cordova area. And that's where one of our top priorities right now is improving Grant Line Road in Rancho Cordova. That money is going to be used to take that existing road and completely reconstruct it, right? We're going to dig everything out and put in a brand new modern facility. Massive safety improvements, drainage improvements, all the things that are going to go along with a brand new 50-year facility.
Have Southeast Connector Project benefited from the developments like Brayton and all these residential communities that are being built, including places like Sky River Casino or the upcoming zoo that's coming there off of Kimmerer Road? Has the project benefited from developer impact fees?
Yes. So each city, when they approve a land use project, they have a development impact fee or a traffic mitigation fee. It's called different things. But absolutely, when developers or builders are approving and entitling those homes and they're going vertical, they pay a fee into that local land use jurisdiction. And projects like ours and many others receive a portion of those fees.
Oftentimes, I get in the comments a lot. People say, whenever there's a new development is proposed, first thing is traffic. And they always say, why don't we improve the roads first before building these communities? Why is it important to get the people there first and then improve the roads? Or is there a standard process to this?
It's a chicken and an egg. It's a chicken and egg question. I mean, really, you don't want to overbuild, right? Because then you're just misallocating your capital. Right. And so certainly we would like to be more integrated into the planning efforts. And I think we've done that in Folsom. Folsom is a really fantastic model for getting our facility in at the same time that these homes are being built. And so White Rock Road is a fantastic model for that type of comment.
A lot of our audiences, believe it or not, like to cycle to where they go. What does Southeast Connector offer to cyclists or pedestrians that like to use a different mode of travel instead of just cars?
We are providing a dedicated Class 1 facility along this entire alignment. So that's 34 miles.
Wow.
And for reference, the American River Bike Trail is only 32 miles.
Wow.
Right? So I mean, this is going to be an entire corridor for the Southeast County. And it's going to be separated approximately 20 feet away from the road. So it's nice and safe, right? We don't want bicyclists in the shoulder, right? We want them on their own dedicated facility, especially when you're dealing with high speeds.
Will there be Connector 2? Many people actually express support for Southeast Connector in the comments, and they suggest something similar in different parts of the region will be great, like connecting 80 to 50 or other parts of the area. What's the likelihood of something like this happening?
The likelihood is slim to none.
Wow.
But I would certainly love to see that happening. I think that we could go from 5 up towards Davis and connect the bottom of West Sacramento. I'd love to continue it north up towards Highway 65 and that I-80 area. But that's going to be basically impossible. I mean, these areas are built out and California is just not in the highway building mindset. That's not really what we're doing, is expanding highways right now and making those kind of new connections. In that regard, the connector is unique in that we're still investing and it's really led by the local counties and cities to make that happen. It's not a state route.
Yeah.
Right? So,
lastly, where can people learn more about the Southeast Connector and how can they stay up to date about the progress?
well, hopefully through our Instagram channel, right?
Awesome.
But connectorgpa.com, right? That's the portal for all things, right?
Yeah.
We've got quarterly board meetings too, and those are open to the public. And so I would invite anyone to come and attend our quarterly board meetings. They're in the mornings on a Friday. If you can't do it, our website has great resources for our materials and our recent updates.
And that's how I learned about the project. The website is full of information and you guys can go there anytime. They're very transparent, tons of information.